Why don't we go ahead and start that way? Supta Baddha Konasana. Looks like it feels good. Put the soles of your feet together and let your knees just drift on down to the floor. You can put your hands on your belly. I'm Philomena, and I'll be guiding you through this next 60-minute practice. I know all of you guys. Oh, here comes Jane. I know you too. Welcome, Jane. This is integration, so it's a little bit of a slower flow, but you will still feel like you've done some yoga because this is a power yoga class. And I see most of you already feeling the air going into your belly. In your next inhale, really lift your belly up with your air, even your ribs, your collarbones, and exhale, ribs, belly, collarbones. Just keep breathing that way, slowly filling up your belly, expanding across your ribs. Even feel your skin stretch. Play around with pausing at the top of your inhale. So the next time you bring in all of that air in, pause for a moment, and then exhale, pause at the bottom. Attempt to get the length of your inhale even with the length of your exhale. I was at a yoga workshop. It was there. It's actually happening again here at the beginning of December. So if any of you are interested in it, let me know. It's in Himalayan here above the Poconos in Pennsylvania. And when I was at that workshop, one of the leaders said, when your breath is choppy, it's like being in a car with somebody that's driving and they keep putting the brakes and taking off the brakes. You know, that rattling feeling. And you get out of the car and you're like, oh my gosh, I'm so glad I'm out of the car. That's what you're doing to your body when you breathe like that. It's really important to breathe evenly in and out. That rhythm helps with facilitating blood throughout the body. It also helps facilitate cerebral spinal fluid through your nervous system. An even, steady breath pattern. Just a couple more. Feeling that air going into your belly, ribs, up to your collarbone, and out, belly, ribs, collarbone. Appreciating the pause at the top and the feeling of empty at the bottom. Keep your knees bent. Bring your legs together. Heel toe your feet apart. And then let your knees cave to center. And you might have to take, so Jeb, if you want to take your feet even further apart, let your knees kind of hover. Feel that stretch. You got it, Allison, on the outside of your hips. If you're in this position and you're thinking, that's not getting a lot of information, you can add on by lifting your right foot and putting it over your knee, your left knee. Exactly. So you can lift your right foot, plop it right over. And most of you are picking up what I'm putting down. Do you want more? You're good. That's probably enough for you, triathlete. You're getting a lot of information. All right, those of you that have one foot on your knee, then switch it to the other side. Feel that stretch for a few moments. Stretching out those external rotators and around your hip and your pelvis. Appreciating the asymmetry too, how one side feels different than the other. And then release and prop yourself up to a seated position with your knees bent like I'm demonstrating. Separate your feet quite a bit and let your knees rock left and right. So if you're wondering why I'm sitting like this, it's because Jane's out there watching me. Hi, Jane. So back and forth with your knees. And the next time your knees pop over to the right, keep them on the right and walk your hands back behind you and bend your elbows. You might be able to go into a child's posture here, meaning that you're going to stretch your arms out and even put your forehead down on the floor, or you can keep your forehead arms on the floor. There's no work here, there's just feeling. So feel what's going on in your body here for these next moments. As you inhale, really separate the space between your ribs, especially on the left side of your body. Just blow up your lungs, stretching out that soft tissue around your lungs, ribs, muscles, skin, and come on back to center and flop your knees over the other way. Just thinking about the layers from skin all the way down into your lung tissue and then back out. You're stretching out those layers. So keep reaching your hands back behind you. If you're looking at me, stop because I'm going to move. But keep stretching out that side of your body. One or two more breaths. Last one. And come back to center. Hug your knees into your chest and roll back on your back and start to roll forward and back. Massage the back of your body 2 or 3 times. Get a little momentum. You're going to move into downward facing dog. So if you want to hop over your feet and go into downward facing dog, or crawl your way back into downward facing dog, you're creating that V shape with your body. Press the mouth of each big toe firmly into the ground and look at your feet. Ensure that they're lined up with your hips. Another way of thinking of it is 12 o'clock. If your feet were on a clock, so you could move your ankles out slightly there, John, just a little bit. So you don't want to see your heels in a sense. Keep your knees a bit bent. You could bend your knees just a tiny bit more, Brooke. Yes. Big breath in. Air out. And move to the front of your mat. Hi, Allison, virtually. I'm glad you're here. Inhale, halfway lift. Put your hands on your thighs and stay here for a moment. You're after a long spine. Take a look at those feet. Again, pressing the mound of each big toe down, pressing the center of each heel down. Press your hands into your thighs. Tailbone towards the space behind you. Pull your shoulder heads back and slide your shoulders down your back. Stay here. Keep building this heat. Pull in your abdominal muscles. And if you're looking at me, stay. I'm moving. You stay right where you're at. Tuck your chin. Oh, that's really nice form. You were great the way you were actually, Jeb. And then act as if you're pressing the back of your head up towards the ceiling with your chin tucked. Yes, that's exactly what I meant, John. So you're trying to counter that tech neck that we're all struggling with these days. Forward fold, hang. Create a box with your arms. Tuck your chin so much so that you put your head in that box. Really stretch out the back of your neck and the tops of your shoulders. And I see all of you intuitively swaying in some way, shape, or form. Just getting the wrinkles out, busting up the cobwebs. Just releasing the tension. Continuing with that even Steven breath. Inhaling slowly, pausing at the top. Exhaling slowly, pausing at the bottom. Release your bind and inhale to stand. So one bone at a time. Press into your feet. Feel the engagement of your leg muscles. Lift the pelvis up the belly button. Hug the guts in. Shoulders back and inhale your arms up to the ceiling. Your arms up towards the ceiling. Feel your shoulder blades slide down your back. Keeping that relaxed, open, strong posture. Now chin, tuck it in. And the back of your head straight back. Move your hands to heart center. Now that you have that all set up, just relax. Find the ease. Trust your bones to stack right on top of each other and keep your shape, your posture, your alignment. One, Om together. Breathe it in. Om. Release your hands by your side. Inhale your arms up to the ceiling. Bend your knees, forward fold. Inhale, halfway lift, high push up and lower the whole way to the mat. So belly onto the mat. Move your hands to the base of your ribs. Create a 90-degree angle with your elbows. Press up for cobra. Just your heart up and exhale down. So it's just the heart lifting up. Go back up. We're going to do 2 more of these. Inhaling up. Exhaling down. Good. Another one. Lift up. This time, press your hands into the mat. Upward facing dog. So lift your body up into your upward facing dog. So upward facing dog, you're kind of like a drawbridge. Your toenails are on the floor. And you're going to pull those shoulder heads back and press your heart towards the space in front of you. Roll over your toes if you can. Downward facing dog. Downward facing dog. Yes, Brooke, nice breathing. Join with her. Another couple breaths. There it is, John. Add to that course of breath, Jane and Allison, and step to the front of your mat. Both feet up to the front of your mat. Halfway lift. You're looking for that long spine. Exhale, fold. Stand. Every time we reach up from here on out, lift your arms straight up towards the ceiling. Fold. Bend your knees and fold. Halfway lift. High to low push-up. Always put your knees down into this low push-up. Upward facing dog. Big back bend. Downward facing dog. Breathe in together. Out. In. Out. In. All of it out. Hold your breath and step to the front of your mat. Inhale, halfway lift. Fold. Stand, reach up. Suck the air in the whole time. Bend your knees and fold. Halfway lift. High to low push up. You want hip width distance with your feet. Upward facing dog and downward facing dog. Breathe in. Push it out. Another one. Last one, just like we started. That pause and empty with the pause. Step forward on the pause. Halfway lift. Fold. Stand. Air in, air in, air in, air in, and out. Fold, 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 fold. Halfway lift. High push up. Start to breathe out and keep breathing out into your low push up. Upward facing dog and downward facing dog. Move your right foot up to your right hand in a low runner's lunge. So right foot up to your right hand in your low runner's lunge. Lower your back knee down to the floor. Put your hand on top of your right thigh and both hands rather on top of your right thigh and lunge forward. You might need to scoot your right foot forward just a bit. Yeah, Brooke, you could even move your foot forward just a bit. So you're after a stretch on the front side of your left thigh. So you really want to get heavy, like your whole body just moving forward. Take your fingertips around your front foot, tuck your back toes under, lift your back knee up, and straighten your right knee. So you're straightening your right knee as much as you can. Stay there. I'm going to run around and see if some people need blocks because I have a feeling you do. Keep breathing into those hamstrings. For most of us, they're a little tight. So breathe into that. Here you go, Jet. Put this block underneath each one of your hands on that setting. Stay up on that high setting. And now come up a little bit and straighten that knee more. Yeah, there you go. All right, lower your left knee down to the mat. Left knee onto the mat. Both hands on top of your right thigh. And lunge it forward. Back into the hamstring stretch. Tuck your back toes under. Lift your back knee up and straighten your right knee once again. I suggest putting blocks underneath your fingertips so you can come up a little bit higher into that stretch. Do you want, Allison, you look pretty cool though. You might want to try it. Last time, put your knee down on the mat once again. Both hands on top of your right thigh, lunging forward. Moving into humble warrior. So with your right knee forward, take your fingertips, flatten your back foot for warrior 1 feet. Warrior 1 feet. So that means your foot is flat and on an angle. Interlace your fingers at your low back. Move your knuckles towards the space behind you. Pull in your abdominal muscles. Really cinch in your core, your ribs. Let the bind pull your shoulder blades straight back as you press the middle of your chest forward. It's as if you're sinking your vertebral bones into their skin. Inhale, come on up towards the ceiling. Hands up for warrior 1. So reach your arms up. I don't know if you've ever noticed with elderly people, it's as if their skeleton is starting to come out of the back of their body. So that's what I mean by squeezing your shoulder blades together on the back side of your body, broadening across your chest and getting those bones back into your body. Hands down to the mat, high push up. Low push up, upward facing dog, downward facing dog. A left sided runner's lunge. Move your left foot forward, lower your right knee on the floor. Your right knee, yep. Both hands on the top of your thigh and lunge forward. If you're not getting that stretch in the front side of your right thigh, then scoot your left foot forward more so you really feel that stretch in the front side of your right thigh. Looks like all of you are getting it. Go for the hamstring stretch. Tent your fingers on either side of that front foot. Lift your back knee up and straighten your left knee. That's a good idea, John. Shifting your hips a little bit left and right could get you into other nooks and crannies of stretch. And then knee back down on the floor. That's good, Brooke. Go your own pace. Now that you know what we're up to, we're just moving between these two postures, that deep, low runner's lunge as you move your body forward. When you feel like you've had enough in that position, then go into the hamstring stretch. Tent your fingertips around your front foot. Lift your back knee up, straighten it, and straighten your front knee too. Make it feel good. Find that relief, that washing off of all the layers of today, this week, month, decade. All right, put your knee down on the floor once more. We're going to move into that humble warrior. So orient your knee right over your ankle. Line your knee up with your ankle. Then flatten your back foot on the floor for humble warrior feet, warrior one feet. Interlace your fingers at your low back and straighten your elbows. Really push your fingers, your knuckles. Push into your feet. In fact, squeeze your legs together, pull in your guts. Use that core strength to bring you right on up to stand for warrior one and stay. So warrior one and stay. 2. Last one. Hands down, high to low push up. Pull your guts in, low push up. Upward facing dog and downward facing dog. Breathe the air in. All of it out and move to the front of your mat. Both feet up to the front of your mat. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, fold. Chair pose. Watch locking out your knees, Jillian. And fold. Exhale, fold. Inhale, half lift. That's exactly it. High push up. In this style of low yoga, low push up, we keep the knees a little bent. Upward facing dog and downward facing dog. Right-sided warrior, move your right foot forward. And that's probably good for you anyway with all your other extracurricular activities. Arms up for your warrior one. Hands down to the mat, high to low. Pull in your guts. And that doesn't just mean your core. That doesn't just mean your belly. Left-sided warrior. So upward facing dog, downward facing dog, and move into your left-sided warrior. Put your arms up and hands down to the mat, high to low push up. Upward facing dog and downward facing dog. We're going to just do one more of those sun salutation B's. Keep breathing. You got one more. Slow in and out. Step to the front of your mat. Inhale, halfway lift. Fold. Chair with an inhale. Fold. Halfway lift. High push up. Core also means the leg muscles. Upward facing dog and downward facing dog. Warrior on the right. Move your right foot forward. Use the air to move your arms up towards the ceiling. Press down with your feet. Hands down to the mat. High to low. Upward facing dog and downward facing dog. Left-sided warrior. Left foot up to your left hand. Lunge deep. Feet all the way up to your hands. That line of energy. Hands down to the mat. High but a low push up. Breathe it in. Upward facing dog and downward facing dog. Right-sided crescent warrior. So move your right foot forward. In crescent warrior, you're going to be on the ball mound of your back foot. So instead of your back foot being flat like in warrior one, you're on the ball mound of your back foot. Now notice how sometimes your ankle wants to swivel so your heel goes to one side or the other. Attempt to get your heel right on top of the ball mound of your big toe or the mound of your of your toes. Inhale your arms up. You're looking for symmetry here. You guys stay where you're at. Let me see what's going on. Good. So the goal here is to get that knee at a 90-degree angle. Yeah, way down into it. So now you have that stretchiness. Stay with another breath going on in the front side of your hip. Remove your hands to heart center and twist to the right. Your back knee could go on the floor. You could put your back knee on the floor if you're in the mood for really paying attention to that rotation. But if you want to add the balance, keep your knee up. You got 2 more. Breathe the air in. Feel the length of your spine. And exhale, go further into that rotation. Spin those vertebral bones past each other. Final exhale. Back up into your crescent warrior and warrior 2. So warrior 2, you're facing the long edge of your mat. Check out those feet. Line your heel up with the middle of your back arch. Good. For a moment, look at the long edge of your mat. So look at the long edge, not over your fingertips, and get your spine as straight as possible. That was perfect, Jillian. Yes. Keep that length in your spine, and we're going to stay for 2. 1 more. Extended side angle. Put your right hand in front of your knee, opposite arm up by your ear. Bend your front knee more. Yes, Jeb. Great alignment. Think about your sternum looking up towards the ceiling, your heart up towards the ceiling as you rotate your spine. Yep, let that charge come into your body. Feel that shaking, that waking up. Back into your warrior 2. Flip your front palm, reverse, and straighten your front leg. You're looking for a big C-shaped body bend here. Move your hands to your hips. Face the long edge of your mat. So pigeon toe your feet to the long edge of your mat. Lift up with your spine and fold. Wide leg forward fold by the long edge of your mat. Let your hands dangle down to the floor and move your hands onto the floor. In fact, stick your finger pads onto the floor. So I'm suggesting more like this, Jillian. Your hands way out like this. Notice how your finger pads will stick to the floor like a sticker almost. And then drag your tailbone back. Get your spine as long as it can be. Relax your head, relax your neck. Notice anything that's holding tension. It could be even your eyebrow. Relax. Very subtly lift your right hip up towards the ceiling. So I won't even probably be able to see it. You're just going to hoist that right hip up slightly and then down, and then your left hip up just a little bit. You're stretching out that medial line, soft tissue on the inside of your legs. Find neutral with your pelvis. Come back to stillness. Move your hands back to your feet and come up to stand. Whole way up to stand. Triangle posture. Move your right foot to 12 o'clock. So right foot's at 12 o'clock. Take your arms out. Now you're going to keep that front knee straight, but don't walk it out even here, and dive down into your triangle. Hand behind your right foot. Can be helpful to have a block behind there, and you can come up on your tippy fingers just a little bit there. So now feel that length of your spine. Want to feel this coming back and this getting long. It's almost like a shifting of your hips backing up towards the ceiling. Yes, Brooke, I just saw that. Couple more breaths here. Just really getting that stretch. This is so good for your body. You've got a great spine flexibility there, the way your spine is so straight. That looks great, Jillian. Look down at your right foot and fly into half moon. It might take a couple of hops, but you're looking for that sticking of half moon, right? You know, when they do that in gymnastics, they get into a posture and they stick it. That's what you're after. You're sticking that half moon. Good focus. Breathe. 1 more. Forward fold. Swing your back leg down to meet your front leg. Forward fold. Relax your head. Halfway lift. High to low push up. Upward facing dog. Downward facing dog. Left side at crescent warrior. Move your left foot forward. Ball of your back foot as much as you can, keeping that heel straight up towards the ceiling as you press the mound of your big toe down into the floor. Great. Slide those shoulder blades down your back. Those shoulders up to your ears tells your body you're stressed, puts you in the sympathetic. So slide them down and open. So you have that power posture. Bring your hands to heart center and twist to the left. So move your elbow over your knee. Remember the invitation for that right knee to go on the floor is there. Open your arms. Brooke's demonstrating that. Lots of space in the lungs for the air. Together in. Out. One more in. All of it out and back up into your crescent warrior. So both arms towards the space in front of you and warrior two. So warrior two, long edge of your mat, deep knee bend in your warrior two. I noticed some of you looking at your feet. Good idea. Checking out that heels lining up with your arch. Nice, Allison. And then go down into that deep knee lunge and stay there. For a moment, gaze at the long edge of your mat to get your spine as straight as possible. Just the head swiveling towards the space in front of you. Breathe. That slow in with the pulse, slow out with the pulse, even breath. Flip your front palm and reverse. Straighten your front leg. Extended side angle. Move your left hand in front of your knee, opposite arm by your ear into your extended side angle. Bend your knee just a bit more. So scooting your knee up towards your foot. For this last breath cycle, find the gooiness, the ease, the sugar, if you will. Back into your warrior two, reverse your warrior once again. Huge lateral flexion. And then hands to your hips, wide leg forward fold with the bind this time. Either interlace your fingers or grab a strap. You take that strap over your head, arms over your head. And I have some straps here that might be helpful for some of you. Try this on, Jeb. Just grab from behind. Yep, and take it right over. Here you go, John. Feel that stretch. That was great, Allison. You made my life easy just having your hands there. Two more. Let gravity do the work. And come on up to stand. Keep your strap in one of your hands. We'll do a little bit of shoulder flossing. Bring your feet together slightly. So those of you at home, Allison and Jean, if you have a scarf or a strap, and you know the drill, you don't necessarily need one. You're just going to stretch your arms wide, thumbs oriented inward. I would say if your feet are pretty far apart, then get a more hip width distance. And then just take that strap down the back side of your body and up and down the front side of your body. Identify the spot that's sticky and choke up just slightly and stay in that spot. So get to that spot and just go back and forth with that spot. Now, feet. Really press your feet down in the floor. Keep your knees bent. Pull your abdominal muscles in. Lift the front of your pelvis, for most of you, up towards your belly button. Hug your ribs in. That head, push it straight back. Chin straight back. All these cues that I'm giving you are called true north alignment cues or mountain pose cues. And they help you stack your bones to give you what we call optimal or sustainable alignment. Okay, you can drop that strap off to the side. Heel to your feet wide. Once again, triangle pose. So move your front foot, your left foot to 12 o'clock. Left foot to 12 o'clock. Arms out. Keep your front knee straight and dive down into your triangle. Now feel that stretchiness across the shoulder that you just created with that shoulder flossing, we call it. See if you can get your arms further apart. And legs, really engage them. Have a sense of squeezing your legs together without moving them. Squeezing your legs, feeling that lift from your pelvis all the way through the crown of your head. Keep that lifting action in half moon. Lift your back leg up and just float up into your half moon by pressing your left foot into the ground. Good. Take your attention now to your bottom hip, your left hip. Externally rotate that more. Like we started tonight in class, you might lose your balance a little bit, but that's cool. You're finding your edge. It's kind of like skiing all day without falling. You didn't learn a darn thing. Keep lifting up, maybe even glance up towards the ceiling, and then swing your back leg to meet your front leg, forward fold at the front of your mat. Let your head relax. Chair pose, sit way down into your chair. Yeah, it's clear you guys have done plenty of yoga. Put your hands at the heart center and twist to the right. Great adjustments. Everything I was just about to say, you guys executed. Getting that pelvis level and down and lifting your heart up. Open up your arms to get more space in your chest area and then bend both knees more. So all of you could bend both knees just another touch more to get them even. You don't even have to look at them. You can just bend them slightly. Let's breathe in. Out. Hey, that head thing is really helpful right here. Press your head straight back on your jaw in for this last moment in this posture. Back up into your chair and fold. Grab your big toes with your 2 peace fingers. Bend your knees, move into a halfway lift, and then tilt your pelvis, moving your tailbone up towards the ceiling. Relax your shoulders, relax your head. This is one of those postures where you are allowing your shoulder blades to slide down towards your ears because you're not using muscles, right? This is stretching. So with stretching, we're just going to get, I dare say, lazy with it, relaxed with it. Chair pose. Release your bind and sit way down into your chair once again, moving your butt towards the space behind you. Hands to heart center and twist to the left. Now the head. Yeah, that's it. So tuck your chin just slightly and have a sense of pushing into my hand with your head. Do you feel that? Counteracting that tech neck. Keep that tension. I'm going to move my hand and open up your arm. Space in your chest for air. Breathing is a little tricky here. No, that's normal. So really deliberately in, really deliberately out. Back into your chair posture and fold. Let it go. Step on your palms for gorilla pose. As much as your hands as possible, get underneath your feet. Just flex your wrists. And then take your weight into one hand and then all of your weight into the other hand. Just rocking left and right. Just massaging out that soft tissue all around your finger joints and wrist. Relax your head, Brooke. Yep, you just did it. I feel like you're reading my mind tonight. Okay, release your bind. Malasana pose or low goddess. Heel toe your feet to the opposite edges of your mat and start to sit down. You can always grab a block and put it underneath your glutes. You're going to sit down in this malasana and then shift your weight to one foot, to the other foot. Get lots of space. Tension between your elbows and your knees. Squeeze your knees together. Really squeeze them together. Feel that contraction of your leg muscles. Palms on the floor. I'm going to lift up into crow pose for just 2 breaths. So feet off of the floor. In, out. Yes, nice strength. Last one. And release. Forward fold at the top of your mat. So stretch your legs. Forward fold at the top of your mat. And bone by bone, come on up to stand. We're going to wrap it up for right-sided eagle pose. So right-sided eagle, right arm under, and right leg over. Right arm under and right leg over. Find that still spot to look at. And if you're looking at me, stop, because I'm going to move. So find that drishti, that spot to help support you. Take your awareness to your spine. Make your spine straight by hugging in your core, hugging in your ribs, and then the head. Push your head straight back, chin in. Last bit, lift your elbows and release. Wrap it up on the other side. So it's really, this is 90%, and I think that my partner is a statistician, and she said that 80% of all statistics are made up. So I just kind of made one up. But a huge piece of these balancing postures, so you're going into left-sided eagle, is finding a still spot and staring at it. That will help you stay right here in this pose. Another breath in and out and release. Right-sided standing leg raise. So look down at your feet, get them at 12 o'clock on a clock, right on your knees, hips, everything lined up, and then grab your right knee into your hand. Right knee into your hand. Now, so there's this sense of squeezing the legs together. So you're not actually going to move them, it's squeezing them in. You feel that integration of them coming in, lighting up your core. So contracting your abdominal muscles. This is what I mean by your legs are part of the core. When you pull those legs together, as if you're scissoring them together, can you feel that? Lift your pelvic floor, pull in your abdominal muscles, even lift the whole way up through your crown. Open up your knee to the right, arm out to the left. Finding that spot, that dristi. It's not just about looking at something and staring at something. It's a focus. It's an awareness. It's a calmness. It's a stillness. Bring your knee back to center, airplane. Take it behind you for airplane pose. Put both of your hands on your left thigh and walk your fingertips down to your ankle. Lift your back leg up towards the ceiling. Stretch, stretch, stretch. Swing it down, forward fold at the front of your mat. So if you feel kind of exhausted a little bit right now with being on that side, come on up to stand. It's probably because you were holding your breath a little bit. So keep incorporating that slow inhale and slow exhale. Grab your left knee. Get disciplined with inhaling and exhaling. I'm going to be here for a few moments. Now flex your both ankles, but of course the bottom one's easier. The lifted ankle, get it flexed. That's it. Jeb even has his toes lit up, which is part of one of the cues in true north alignment. Now feel that squeezing of your legs together. Do you feel that integration, that pulling in and that lift? Pelvis, ribs, all the way up beyond the crown of your head. Keep that lift and take your leg out to the left. Externally rotate at your hip. Very great focus. That's the dristi. That's the awareness. And the awareness also includes the breath. That gentle in. You might not need to breathe as heavy or as intensely here, but you definitely want to have that even breath. Back to center and airplane pose. Fly into your airplane pose. So whole body lifts up. Yes, and I'm hearing some breath. Good. One more. Hands to your thigh. Walk your fingertips down to your ankle. Now press into your foot and reach the opposite foot way up towards the ceiling. Press and lift and release. Forward fold at the front of your mat. Inhale all the way up to standing. Right-sided standing bow. Bend your right knee and capture your right ankle from the inside with your right hand. Left arm up towards the ceiling. Now squeeze your legs together and go for the kick. So use your quads to kick against your hand and lift your foot up. I'm moving. You stay. Yes, great hand placement, all of you. And release, other side. We're going to do 2 sets. This first one is just breaking up cobwebs. So grab your left foot. Doing the second set there, Allison and Jane, and release. So right side, second set. This one will hold for a little bit longer. Now that you got them juicy. And you're getting better with your dristi. Just in this short amount of time, I can see your focus. That soft focus where you're integrating the ease with the effort. And let it go. Other side. Noticing that balance. A study my partner was involved with was a collision study. And one of the outcomes of the study, they realized that the people that were intoxicated in car accidents fared better than people that weren't. And release. I'm not saying we should be drunk right now, but I am saying Right-sided eagle, right-sided eagle. Put your right foot on the inside of your ankle or your calf or your thigh. But there is something about that ease in your body. Without that tension, you're less inclined to be injured, less inclined to leave here feeling tense. If you want to find that ease, that softness, you probably know that too with bike riding. Even your jaw, everything in your body that's not actually doing the contracting needs to be relaxed. Hands wherever you want them. It's hard for me to not talk about evergreen trees this time of year. And other side. Let's all be a conifer. Why not? Your hands up towards the ceiling. Interlace your fingers. If you release your index fingers and point them up towards the ceiling. Now that lift that I've been talking about tonight, where you're squeezing your legs together, pulling your abdominal muscles in as you lift your pelvis up, broadening across your chest, that head straight back, jaw straight back, and release. Let it go. Inhale, both arms up to the ceiling. Bend your knees, forward fold. Inhale, halfway lift, high push up and lower all the way down to your belly. Locust pose, arms out like airplane, and lift your arms and your legs. Yeah, you can do that if you want more fire, Jeb. That's Superman. Airplane would be arms back behind you. You don't know your childhood games, do you? The head cues, remember that one? Jaw in and the back of your skull pressing up towards the ceiling. So you're taking the wrinkles out of your neck. You're thinking long. Yeah, there you go. And head up. And yeah, thank you, John. Let's come on down. Move your head to one way or the other and rest your ear on the floor, round your shoulders down to the floor. But remember what ear's on the floor because you're going to stretch in the opposite way here in a moment. Second airplane, lift it on up. Broaden across the chest and slide those shoulder blades down. Yes, lifting up. How much more of your leg could you lift up? Yeah, Brooke, yes. More. Look, you're going for it. She's almost to their hip bones. Look at you. And release. Rotate your head so that opposite ear is on the floor. Yeah, and just really let it all relax. Stretching out that soft tissue all around your neck. Tops of your shoulders. Right-sided floor bow. Move your right forearm parallel to the front edge of your mat. So right forearm parallel to the front edge of your mat. Bend your left knee, reach behind, grab your ankle from the inside. Squeeze your legs together. Not just your legs, but also at the pelvic area. Squeeze them in. Hug in your core and kick against your hand. You just have one more big inhale. And exhale, stay with the exhale and other side. Now left arm across the front edge of your mat, then your right knee, grab the inside of your ankle, flex your ankle. Same deal here. Get that integration of your core, not just your abdominal muscles, but your legs, your pelvis, even the rib area. Lift, 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 and release. Let it go. Press your hands into the floor. We're going to do one camel pose up onto your knees. Put your hands on your lower back. Actually on your butt cheeks, basically. And you're going to press down without moving your hands. So you're energetically pressing down and lifting your heart up. When I say energetically, I mean you're not physically moving your hands. It's more you have the energy of that contraction going through your hands. You lift your heart up, really broaden across, stretching your skin, muscle, cartilage, lung tissue, all the way down to the very cells of your lungs. Breathe in. Out. Release. Swing your legs out in front of you and sit on your butt for bridge pose. Just going to do 3. Your choice, bridge or wheel for 3 breaths, 5 breaths, and 7 breaths. So up into your bridge for 3 breaths. I've been loving goal post arms here, especially for the first one, to get those scapula, the shoulder blades flat on your back as you lift your hips up. That's it, Allison. And have a sense of squeezing against my hand. Just squeeze against my hand. You feel that integration? Keep that integration when I move my hands. Keep that. You can feel that in your pelvis all the way through the crown of your head. Release. Second set, your choice, bridge or wheel. Another way to take bridge, if you're staying with bridge, is to interlace your fingers at your low back underneath your body and move your knuckles towards your feet. Maybe feel that, how that impacts your body. There we go, Jillian. Yes. Whenever I have our first up and wheel, it always reminds me of the revival meetings. That first person going to the altar, baby. Yes. Nice. Really open up. Squeeze your legs just a little bit, John. And come on down. We have one more bridge or wheel. Up you go. Ready, set, go for this last bridge or wheel. Allison and Jane, feeling that opening across your chest. Maybe those of you that are watching this video at a later time, really pressing into your feet, into your shoulders. Last couple breath cycles. Yes, Brooke, stay with that charge. Feel that charge. In fact, squeeze your legs together against my hands. Keep that integration and also having this sense of pulling up into your body. Great. All right, come on down. Supta Baddha Konasana. Put the soles of your feet together. Allow your knees to drift down towards the floor. So we're back to where we started right now, right? Supta Baddha Konasana. What does this snapshot of your body feel like compared to how you felt when you walked in tonight? Is there areas that are less congested? Maybe less pain, less tension? Happy baby, grab the soles of your feet, orient the soles of your feet towards the ceiling, and move your knees down towards the floor. Rock to one side and attempt to balance yourself on that side. It kind of feels a little awkward, but try to stay to one side and take a deep breath in. Massage the organs on the back side of your body on that side. Yeah, and your knee might go down to the floor, Jillian and Brooke, and then rock to the other side. That's fine. It's more about just feeling that stretch, using your air and the floor together to massage your inner organs, and then come back to center. We're going to move into boat pose. We're going to build the boat by coming up to a seated position with your flat feet on the floor like I'm demonstrating. We did this earlier at the start of class today. Put your hands behind your thighs and use that connection to create a long spine. The head. Tuck that jaw back and the back of your head straight back. You're asking for your bones to go into your soft tissue of your back. So that involves broadening across the chest, if you can feel that. Pulling your abdominal muscles and then release your hands. That's the next stage. If you felt like you lost the integrity of your spine, if it rounded, then just grab the back of your legs once again. Be honest with yourself. You're really using core work here. You're disciplining yourself. And lift one foot up, the other foot up. Just keep alternating those feet. If you want more, you can lift both feet up at the same time for your boat pose. Good. We got 5, 4. Keep pulling in your core. 3, 2, and 1. Put your feet on the floor. Wrap your arms around your shins and move your forehead toward your knees. Rock your head left and right. Massage the soft tissue around your neck and your shoulders. 2 more. Build the same way. Hands behind the thighs. Pull on the thighs. Long spine. Open up the arms. Your stage, whichever one you want. Alternating the lifts. 5, 4, 3. Yes, John, that's it. Hold and feel that integration, that sucking of your legs in. And release. Feet down. Wrap your arms around your shins. Forehead to your knees. And last one. Hands behind your thighs. Squeeze your legs together without even doing anything. Squeeze your legs together and feel them coming in, like integrating towards your body. Feel your muscles engage around your hips. You're in boat pose right now. I mean, I am sweating just doing this. If you want more fire, though, you can add the arms. And you can go in the alternating leg lifts. But honestly, just staying right here and feeling that, pulling in that integration of your muscles is what it's really about. And release. Rock onto your back, reclining half pigeon. Put your right leg over your left knee in reclining half pigeon. Reach your hands through, grab the outside of your thigh, rock left and right. That head, remember that head, the back of your skull on the floor, flat on the floor, and tuck your chin slightly. Try grabbing behind your thigh. Now see if that gives you access to laying your head down. Yeah, tuck your chin just slightly. Yes. You getting something in here? Yep, that's where you want it. Few more moments here. Other side. Release. Come up to a seated position. Extend your right leg long, left foot on the inside. I'll mirror you guys. Right foot long, opposite foot on the inside. Orient your torso, spine. Sternum, your breastbone, and your knee. Make them line up with each other. And then hinge at your hip. So this is more happening at the pelvis, not the back. You don't want your back to round. You want to feel your spine being long. Stay where you're at. Offer a few little props here. Put this under your knee. And then hang on for dear life. So try to take the effort out of it and find the relaxation. Remember, the intoxicated people in the car don't get hurt. Yeah, I was just going to say that. Sliding your shoulder blades down your back like that. All right, go ahead and round your spine now for one final moment here. Let your nose head toward your knee as much as it'll go. Take a deep breath in. Exhale. Imagine that sheet of tissue at your lower back, just letting go and stretching out. Other side. So stretch out your left foot. Straighten your knee. I often put a block under this guy here. And then, yeah. Yep. Think long spine. This lift in your spine. And then relax your shoulders down and back. Your jaw. Yeah, your head looks good. In terms of alignment. All right, indulge, relax, go ahead forward, let your spine round, nose down towards your knee. Release and stretch both legs out long, staff pose, and reach for your feet. This is a fun bind. I love doing this with a strap. Wrap it like this, let it go a second, your ends, and take that foot, this one in this hand, and this guy in this hand, and now pull. And what it'll do then is it'll orient your foot like it should. The pinky toes should be being pulled back like that. Yeah. I don't know if anybody. Yeah, Brooke, you might like that too. I love doing this bind. So you just take this, let go of the strap a second, spine your foot up like that, and this guy like this. And now when you pull, go ahead and pull. See how it brings the pinkies back. Okay, release. If I bound you all up, unbind. And an inversion of your choice. If you're in the mood for more of a restorative inversion, I see Allison reaching for her block. You could lay on your back, bend your knees, put the block underneath your lower back. She's demonstrating it nicely, so we'll just look at her. And then hoist your legs up over your hips. This would be the most restorative. Brooke is also demonstrating that. It's a lovely stretch. If you're really flexible, you don't need the block. But if you're not flexible, the block makes this more of a restorative pose as opposed to an ab workout. So, Jillian, do you feel like you're working your abs in that? Okay. Is that what you're after? Are you in the mood for a workout here, or do you want more of a restorative? Oh, yeah, yeah, yeah. Okay, so go into plow. So take your legs way over. Yep, and then put your hands on your lower back like mittens. Yeah, exactly. Bring your thumbs actually together towards your index so you're not hanging out in the webbing. And then lift your legs up. I'm going to lift you up a little bit. Bring your elbows together a little more. What's that? Yeah, that is that you brought them together somewhat. Is that too much pressure on your ankles when I did that? I just thought, oh gosh, what if I'm getting into an injury here? All right. Jillian, go into plow. The rest of you bend your knees, but keep your sacrum on your back and just rock left and right. Massage your lower back with that block. Just rock a little bit left and right. I'm about to turn the lights off, Jane and Allison, and those of you that are watching this maybe as a video. But we're still here in this space. Then you can put your flat feet on the floor. Those of you with a block, lift up your hips, remove the block out of your way. You're in for a treat. We have a lit tree out here, some luminaries for your viewing pleasure as we move into this final stage of yoga practice. Your practice. Supine twist to the right. Hug your knees into your chest and flop them over to the right, upper body to the left. Let's do a sigh here together. Inhale. Mm-hmm. Yep, that's great, Jeb. That's how I am. You're using your hip kind of as a fulcrum, and it's cool that your knee is up, and it's cool that this is up. It might feel good to just move this arm up and back. You feel that stretch in your axillary region, your armpit. All right, flip flop the other way. Supine twist the other way to the left. Those of you at home, Allison, Jane, if you're watching this video, feel free to change the ambiance in your space. Maybe turn off a light, put something over your eyes. If you're in the studio, there's an eye tail near you. You kind of unroll that and put that over your eyes and set yourself up for Shavasana. So, Shavasana, you're looking to be as comfortable as you possibly can. So if you feel block or anything touching you, just get it out of the way. If you have any last minute restless leg or something, do a little shifting, a little movement. The goal for the next few moments is to commit to complete stillness. Stillness of the body, stillness of the mind. Find the ease. Just like we started tonight. Slow breath in. Hold it at the top. Equally slow breath out. Hold it at the bottom. Continue breathing just like that. Rock your head left and right. Wiggle your fingers, toes. Draw circles with your hands, stretching out your wrists on all angles. Do the same thing with your ankles. Big sweeping circles. If you find a spot that's congested, hang out there, rock, do little movements in that space. Becoming really super self-aware of how your body feels right now. Hug your knees into your chest. Rock over to your right side into a fetal position. Put your forehead on the floor. And then move to a seated position. Put your hands on your knees. Pull on your knees, lengthen your spine, and feel that lift from your sit bones, those pelvic pieces that sit down on the floor, all the way through the crown of your head. Feel that length. Now, once you have that length, find the ease. You've stacked your bones. Now you can relax. Inhale your arms up to the ceiling. Move your hands to heart center. One final Om together. Breathe it in. Om. Namaste. Nice work, nice ease, nice balance. Should all be very happy with yourselves for practicing at 7 o'clock at night. In our house, that's about midnight. Thanks for coming, Jane. Oh, you're already gone.